Scheduling activities is an important part of keeping in touch with our contacts. In this video, we'll see how to schedule activities in ACT, how the activity invitations are sent, and how we can manage them by using the task list. Activities are really just appointments, like meetings or phone calls, but they can also be to-dos or even personal activities. So let's say that I've been asked to make a sales presentation to my contact at T-Bone Steakhouse. Well, I need to first make a call to make the arrangements. Now I could look up the contact and look for the company name, but I'm just going to click on the company's tab there on my left navigation panel. I'm going to select T-Bone Steakhouse, and then I see my contacts underneath, so I can just link that way. I have no activities scheduled currently for Mike, my contact, so I'm going to use the global toolbar and press the schedule call button. So now I have all the information that I need. It defaults my contact and the company name on there, so let me fill in some of this information. And I'm also going to make sure that I get that 15-minute reminder ahead of time. So once I have all the information in there, all I have to do is click OK, and now we see the activity set up. It'll be on my calendar, and I'll get the 15-minute reminder to make sure that I'm ready for that phone call. Now I also want to schedule an activity that would represent my actual trip to make sure that I have that on my calendar as well. So now I'm going to schedule a meeting, again from the global toolbar. Nice and easy, one click, click meeting there, and now I have all the information. So let me set up the time that I have here. Now to send the activity invitation so that your contact there at the steakhouse also puts the meeting on his calendar so he's available, all we have to do is select the Send Invitation email. And we see the little box at the top that says contacts and users will receive a calendar invitation via email. So ACT supports creating these invitations in the iCalendar format, which is a pretty standard format. It's supported by Outlook, Google Calendar, Windows Calendar, the Windows Live Calendar, the Apple iCalendar, Yahoo. So when you send that, then your contact should be able to open that and add that meeting or that particular activity to their calendar as well. So now I click OK. And it tells me that I don't have a valid email address, so I can't actually send the invitation to them. So it's a nice check, so I don't assume that I've already sent it and they never got it. So I'm going to have to make sure that I get Mike's email and ask him to put it on his calendar when I call him in the next day. Now we see both my activities already set up, the call that I'm going to make sure that we have all the plans set up, and then the actual event, the actual meeting, where I'll be there presenting. So now if we want to look at all of the activities that we have scheduled, not just necessarily for this particular contact, we can go to our task list, again from the navigation pane on our left. Here we have a list of all the activities that we have scheduled, starting from the one that we have most recently, so they go in chronological order. We can choose any of these to see a little more detail. We can link directly to the contact, or I'm sorry, we can link directly to the activity by double-clicking it. And we can clear them as we take care of them. So if I look ahead to that call that I set up for Mike to make sure that I have my arrangements made for next week's meeting, I can click the little box on the left which clears the activity. You see the clear activity box appears then. This is what sets the activity as completed, and it records it on the history tab of this particular contact. So let me add in some details here. So I took care of it just now. I made the call. There's nothing to follow up on because I've already set up my my meeting activity for next week. So I just press OK. You saw the strike through, and then it removes it from my list because I no longer have to do that activity. It's no longer a task. Now if I want to go back and look at that, if I go back to Mike, we see on his activities tab that phone call has been removed. And now it lives under the History tab because I've already done it. So as we've seen, ACT allows us to schedule any number of activities with our contacts and be able to send invitations to them if we have their email address. And we're also able to manage our activities through the task list, completing them as we do them.